Okay, so I'm putting this video together for my cousin. He's recently had a desire to maybe get into archery. So this is the easiest way for me to get a video to him. Anybody else who happens to watch it, you're more than welcome. So what I'm going to do is I should have started this off downstairs, I suppose. Let's walk through the house. I'm going to get a variety of different bows. And I am going to shoot those inside the house, but try to explain some of the different types of archery that is available. From the recurve archery to the compound archery and what have you. As you can see, there's nobody here at the house because my wife and kids probably wouldn't like it if I started shooting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get me some bows. I'm gonna set them up down here, go through some of the different features, and try to explain them the best that I can. Okay, so we're starting off with the compound bows. These are the compound bows that I personally have. They come in many different types and configurations. The first one you see right here, this is a 32-inch win-and-win carbon fiber, mainly a hunting bow. That was my first bow that I received. It has a maximum draw, I believe, of 60 pounds. Over here we have a win-and-win target bow. This is a 40-inch from axle to axle, meaning from the axle here to the axle on the other side measures 40 inches. Like I said, 32 on the first bow over here. This here's kind of like the bigger brother of the first bow. It's a win-and-win carbon fiber, black shadow, but it's a 36-inch from axle to axle. Again, primarily a hunting bow. Most of the bows that I have here are set up more or less and configured in the same way. I do have a hunting sight on this one. If you look inside here, you will see there are 4 pins. And if you turn the bow around and aim it at light, I don't know if you can really see it right here, but those pins, they actually start to glow in kind of a color. You will set each of those pins at a different distance. So when you use it to sight up with something, like out in the field with a deer or whatever animal you're looking to destroy, depending upon the guesstimated range or what it is that you have ranged it at, you will use the appropriate pin that as you had set it, or shoot in between. Meaning if the first pin was set at, for example, 20 meters, and the second pin at 30 meters, and you guesstimated it to be at 25, you'd shoot in between the first and second. I have a wrist strap on all my bows here that is adjustable to make it larger or smaller. And this one here, I have a screw-on D-loop, where on the other bows I have the string type D-loop, as you see here. It looks like I had a knock stuck to that one for some reason. Let's go ahead and pull that off. I have stabilizer setups on compound bows. I tend to use an offset, meaning you have a bar that will come to the front and one that will offset to the right. You will see the markings on here that allow you to adjust the angle and the pitch of it to balance it appropriately in your hand. That's a bee stinger on that particular one. The rest I have on here, this is one of the cheaper rests you can get. Probably like $11, but it works. It's bulletproof, it's cheap, but that's what it is. On the win-and-win, I have a drop-down rest by ripcord. What happens is when you pull the bow back, and it's cocked as it is right now, the arrow will sit in the rest. When you pull the bow back, there's this bust line that comes down here and attaches to the bottom limb. The limbs will expand forward because of the tension, and when you release it and shoot and loose the arrow, the rest will drop down in a split second before the arrow actually approaches it, allowing it to clear out of the way. Nice rest, but they are much more expensive than the first one. It is full containment, so that when your arrow sits in it, no matter if you turn your bow or what have you, it will hold the rest, or hold the arrow inside the rest. You'll see it does have adjustments on it to adjust center shot, meaning the rest going from left to right. And then of course you can adjust it up and down by the mounts and the adjustments also on the rest. I do not have a sight attached to it, but I do have a sight mount right here. I have the same sight mount on my third bow over here, and that way I can use this sight that I have here, which is a target sight, on both bows. I don't really do too much hunting, so for me, target sights are preferred. The sight that I have here, it's an Excel carbon. I think it's a 15mm scope on it. It's a single pin scope. There's a level in there, I don't know if you can see it, to make sure you get your shot level. You have your adjustments up and down for elevation. You have your adjustments left and right for windage. There. And then you can micro adjust it, and then you can actually lock it in to stay there. It will not move. I really like this sight. There's a lot of cool features on this sight. The stabilizers I have for the hunting bows are bee stingers. You see they're short. They help balance the bow as well as absorb shock. The stabilizers I have for the target bow are doinkers. They come in various sizes. I think that's a 15-inch and a 34-inch. I usually use these on my my recurve Olympic bow, but they also work on a compound target bow. So let me go ahead and set up a target, and I will show these. This has the whisker biscuit, by the way. Simple, fail-safe, bulletproof rest. So simple to use. You just drop the arrow into it. That's full containment. They do slow down the arrow a little bit. They knock the trajectory off a little bit. For the little bit that I've noticed through the chrono and through targets, it's not enough to really worry about if you're just getting started and looking to save some money. So personal opinion, and they're not finicky. They won't fail you. They unlike the ripcord, where you might have to be in a situation where you have to retie the string, the bus line, or recalibrate it, retime it. That'll never happen with this one. Okay, so I have set up the bow somewhat here. This is the 36-inch. I put the stabilizers on the left rear side and the front. I've attached the sight. I also have a release. What that is you hold it with your 3 fingers. When you press this button, the jaws close. When you pull this with your thumb, it releases. So this will go onto your D loop. You'll pull back and then you will release and it will shoot the shot. So I'm going to go ahead and knock an arrow up. Go ahead and I put the white vein down, or the off-color vein in this particular case. It's shot set up. Open up this door here. I'm going to take a shot outside. So I'm going to pull back, take aim, release. Again, get your arrow. You're going to knock it onto the string. With the whisker biscuit, it just drops right in. It's full containment, the arrow will not drop out. I put on my release. I pull back. I take aim. And shoot. Pretty much the same way as it's going to go for the other the bows. I take this one here. I can shoot one here with this real quick. I will not put the stabilizers on here, but the same sort of a setup. You knock the arrow. It's going to sit on the rest. It's not a containment rest, so you'll see the arrow will fall off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my release aid here. On here. We'll pull back. Take aim. And shoot. With the target bow, again, I have this set up to where I can take my rest off, or my sight off. I can sight it, set it onto the other bow. It has the same sort of mount. I'm good there. Get another arrow. Pull the rest down. Set it there, and then we'll push this button here. So you can see it. Rest is in the down position. I'm going to load it so the rest actually comes up. And what's going to happen again is it's going to come down as it shoots so that the arrow can clear. We need to be there right now, so It's a full containment rest again, so the air will move a little bit, but it will not fall out. We're going to use our release here. Pull back. Shoot. Again, you see the rest is now in the down position. So knock the arrow. Set the rest. Back. Shoot. You go ahead and take this off. Shut this door here. Now all these bows are adjustable as well. As you can see here, the different markings on the cams. You have an upper cam and a lower cam. And what you have here is you'll see it says let off. Now that's how much percentage will let off when you pull back. Now it's a 60-pound bow, and you can have 60% of that let off, 70% or 80%. If you have it 80% of 60 pounds is 12 pounds. So 80% goes away and you're left holding the additional 20, the leftover 20, or the 12 pounds. What you have here is there's a stop. I have a long draw length, so I have it all the way out. But the further you bring this, as the cam rotates, it will stop against the limb, causing a shorter or longer draw length. You need to make sure you have the right draw length for your style. On the other side, you actually can engage where the let off occurs. Do you want the let off to occur towards the rear portion of the wall or the end of the shot or the draw, or more towards the front? More experienced archers tend to like it to occur later, so it takes off right away and you get a little bit more speed. And less experienced archers usually tend to prefer it the other way. It's all a matter of preference, and you do get more speed if you have it let off a little later. So in a nutshell, this is what I have with the compound bows. Ron, if you have any questions, just call me and let me know.